Okay, so unexpectedly, today is December 7th, Thursday, December 7th, 2023. It is 5:37 p.m. in the Eastern time zone here in the United States of America. Surprisingly, there was a video produced yesterday by someone who I have not always trusted. Based on the title and the first couple minutes of the video that I've watched, I hopefully will stand corrected by the end of when we watch all this together. So this is for Replay Crew, obviously, aka BAMANDAHLIA, aka the source of the friction between me and this content creator who I at one point had high admiration for and now just have a lot of confusion. But in the effort to eliminate that confusion, and especially to have as much unity on Team BJ moving forward as possible. We don't all have to like each other. We don't all have to enjoy each other's work, enjoy each other's opinions. But I think we do have to trust each other moving forward so that there are no more hot snakes infiltrating these people. So without further ado, I am going to share my screen and I'm going to make it full screen. Okay, and I want to get this to the very beginning. And I need to share computer audio. That's always helpful. Share computer sound. Okay. So without further ado, we're going to watch together the freakiest thing ever. Dahlia Takali, Silent Sister in the Shadows of Lima from Aura. The creator is named High Priestess Steph, if you hadn't figured that out already. And let's begin. I think I have this at regular speed. Let's see. Yeah, I have it at normal speed. I'm going to put it at like 1.5 just because, you know, it's 40 minutes or 30, it's 35 minutes roughly. And I don't want to take up too much time and I'm going to have to stop and comment and all that. And I want to stop and comment because that's the whole purpose of this channel is to rewatch things. It looks like there wasn't any live chat, or if there is, I'm not able to see it. So we'll rewatch it and then we'll go take a look at the comments and see what it looks like people are thinking of this latest and greatest from a content creator who at one time I thought was sort of the leader of the, well, not the leader, but was sort of the leader of the Team BJ movement. Let's see.
They used me for science. They used me for science.
And
Dahlia Takwali's paint.
I do have captions on because I am both visually and auditorily impaired. So I apologize if that ruins things for you. You can go watch the video yourself on her channel and you know, watch it without captions. And at whatever speed is best for you. This is what's best for me. So, and it's my channel. So it's my channel. I can caption if I want to.
Paintings, music, and spoken word.
An artificially intelligent artistic analysis.
Hocus pocus. Alakazam. Here you are, how glad I am. I being robot, no false pretense. Here to inform you, my dear human friends, that the rising goddess herself presents this somewhat intense analysis of a YouTube star and.
Okay, again, just to make sure that there's no copyright claims, apparently what Miss Stephanie is doing here is using an AI robot to narrate parts of this, which is, you know, it's cute, it's clever. I hope there's a point to it in the end. But yeah, so far I'm liking this better than pretty much anything I've seen from her before. So again, I hope I was wrong about her. I really, truly do. And I'm not saying that to be facetious or sarcastic or any of those kind of things. I really do hope I was wrong about her, because if I was wrong about her recently, that means I was right about her in the beginning. And if I was right about Brennan in the beginning, not liking her, sorry, Gemstoner, because I know she doesn't like when we say her name, then truly we were all misled by the same person. And on the Who Dat Surprise Army channel, I do have an image poll that is up there just saying who was the hot snake or hot snakes in the Goddesses Rising, or TGIR as we call it on Discord. So yeah, let's keep going.
And her publicly recorded history thus far. My name is Podbot and I'm here at Steph's command, cause we are living in an
Upside down.
world and I am an artificially intelligent robot.
You know?
Cause we are living in an
Upside down.
world and I am an artificially intelligent robot. Are you ready, Steph?
Are you ready, Podbot?
I was programmed ready.
Despite my reluctance to support bot life, I felt it appropriate today to utilize the
Steph used the word reluctance. I love that because that was my word that I used for her back when I trusted her completely, like implicitly trusted this woman with anything. I mean, she could have asked me anything and I would have told her because at that time I thought it was important, and pretty much the only way to support BJ was to trust Steph. And by trusting her, I was trusting anyone she trusted. And if we both trusted the wrong person, then mea culpa, mea culpa, mea culpa. Let's keep watching.
assistance of technology known to man as AI. Artificial intelligence. Robots. Machines. You know what we mean. The ones we are continuously proving our humanity to. Anywho, I'm sure Lima from Aura, allegedly Dahlia Takali's elder sister.
Liquid Death, not sponsored. Hello to all the insane clown pussies that may be watching this.
Would approve, since she's an advocate for this stuff. Something to do with many strings to her bow and tricks up her sleeves. Telehealth, mental self-made make-believe, if you ask me. Publicly tied to many an enterprise and suspicious society. Did you know that she has a church? It doesn't look like that though. Looks a little bit more like this.
Okay, I like this. I mean, it's still sort of her whimsical, mystical style, which I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of, but she's got like actual documents and stuff that I recognize from all the research work that we did during the Goddesses Rising. So for that and for her efforts to salvage all that work, all that collective intelligence that we all put in that the gemstoner was trying to co-opt for her own nefarious purposes, I salute you. I salute you, Steph. And I'm not expecting you to ever like me or trust me again, but as long as I can trust your work moving forward, then that's a positive outcome as far as I'm concerned. All right. So, and as long as I can trust the mutual acquaintances that we had through the Goddesses Rising, those who are still in touch with you, then that's fine. I just haven't really been able to trust anybody since you kicked me out of your server. Sorry, because Brendan was trying to tell me, I'm sorry, Gemstoner was trying to tell me it was you. Other people were telling me it was her. Jamie was thinking one thing, Jamie was thinking another thing, blah, 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 blah. I think for myself. And right now I'm thinking, perhaps as one of our mutual acquaintances said to me the other day, you were harmed more than I was. I don't like to compare. The harm I've felt has been pretty deep and intense. But yeah, this isn't, like I've said many times, this isn't the trauma Olympics. So if we were both harmed by the same person, then I would consider us to both be on the same team, even if we don't have any type of friendship or relationship or even acquaintanceship moving forward. If I can respect your work and, you know, respect, even if you don't share credit for it, respect that I see other people who contributed to the work are at least getting that work out there through you, then that's a wonderful outcome.
Transhumanism, something that was once called the world's most dangerous idea. It's the philosophical study of technology that might enable us to go beyond current human limitations. Transhumanist philosophers write about medicine and cognitive enhancement, genetic engineering, cloning, artificial intelligence, cloning.
The truth is out there. I'm a clone, so people control me.
And so again, team traffickers, as I would call them, team traffickers, want to point to this quote from Amanda as, oh my God, she was going to be dead anyway. Don't take anything she says seriously. But to me, this is Amanda as she truly was, as she truly chose to live her life, as team traffickers want to say, it was their choices, their lifestyle choices. Well, I don't think she chose to be the daughter of this sick man, allegedly her father, Larry Rabb. But this was Amanda when she had her autonomy. Okay. And for all we know, Larry Rabb could have given her that busted eye that she has in that picture. So yes. So I think this was an excellent choice of footage of Amanda for Ms. Stephanie to share.
So they use technology, Orthodox him to beat me up because they get frustrated.
Yeah, and I remember saying, when specifically in the Goddesses Rising, I remember saying, when Amanda said Orthodox me, does that have anything to do with the Orthodox Serbian church of which Lima was baptized into? And that was public information on Lima's Facebook. And so Orthodox me, was there some sort of outreach? Was there some sort of Serbian Orthodox outreach on Skid Row? And was Amanda trying to tell us they're trying to convert me or something like that, trying to Orthodox me, okay? In her own, substance influenced way, but in her own words that were not subject to editorial control. Mark Leda had editorial control over what he chose to put out versus what he never put out. And I would love to see the unreleased tapes of Amanda from A Soft White Underbelly. But this was certainly before she was forced to say what her captor, who's from the Serbian Orthodox Church, and that would be Ms. Lima, was forcing her to say later in her life when she was captive by team traffickers.
Because I'm comfortable. People with money. You know what I'm saying? The guy videotaping me right now.
I don't regret helping you.
Yeah.
I would love to help you.
People with money. Lima Ivan. Okay. Guy videotaping me right now. Mark Leda. Okay. Mark was trying to work with Lima to get one of his subjects, and they are his subjects, his photography subjects that he's now profiting off of a book of many dead people, including Amanda right now, for your holiday coffee tale pleasure. So far, mea culpa regarding Miss Stephanie.
Cloning, artificial intelligence, uploading your mind into a computer.
Maybe they should stop roboting me.
Transhumanists want to apply.
Maybe they should stop roboting me. My theory was that they were taking footage, either that Mark had collected or that they were collecting on the streets and using it for this AI Skid Row that Amanda ended up being forced to participate in VR later at Desert Hope Treatment Facility. And again, Mark is the one selecting these quotes. So if he's selecting all the quotes that give us the breadcrumbs to tie him and Lima back to the trafficking of Amanda Rabb and to her wrongful death, maybe he needs to edit his footage in a different way. Just saying.
Technology to overcome limits imposed by our biological and genetic heritage. Transhumanists regard human nature not as an end in itself, not as perfect, and not as having any claim on our allegiance. Rather, it is just one point along an evolutionary pathway, and we can learn to reshape our own nature in ways we deem desirable and valuable. By thoughtfully, carefully, and yet boldly applying technology to ourselves, we can become something no longer accurately described as human. We can become
post-human. Okay? So, there's a lot of criticism of organized religion, but if the general belief of either the Serbian Orthodox Church that Lima was baptized into, or the House of God Church that Lima herself founded, along with, I believe, Albert Monero Jr., if the inherent belief of either one of those tax-exempt religious organizations is that we can become post-human, I am afraid. I am very, very afraid. And I am, again, mea culpa, very grateful to Steph for finally putting this stuff out here. They say better late than never. Perhaps timing is everything. Maybe she always intended to put this out on the 1-year anniversary of the body cam footage, in which case I salute you.
The truth is out there.
As a former member of that surprise army.
Post-human.
Yeah, and then along comes Lima. So let me explain what you do. Aura.
Yeah, team trafficker, alleged father, transhumanist, being interviewed by photographer whose subjects seem to often die untimely, unexplained, and in my opinion, wrongful deaths.
Your company is not a rehab. It's a technology that rehabs can use, right? How would you describe what you guys do?
So I would say that we're a digital health company, and I noticed that from the previous videos, maybe there was a little bit of confusion, but we are not a
Digital health company. What does that mean? It basically means trying to profit off of other people's illnesses by using technology, and in doing so, omitting all accountability, all culpability, all justice for the victims of this technology. And look at how happy Larry looks right there. Oof. Remember what Amanda originally said about Larry. Remember what Dahlia said a year to the day before this video was published about her mother and her sister. She didn't say which sister or sisters. She said her mother and her sister. It's been a while since I watched that body cam footage, but I watched it at least 20 times before it was taken down.
hospital. We are not a clinic. We work with hospitals and clinics. And I think the best way to really say what I do is that imagine if cars came without speedometers and that you had to guess how fast you were going. And the statistic was that 90% of cars don't make it to their destination. And so that's how the treatment centers are right now. So without measurement, how do you know you're getting better?
But this story isn't about
Without measurement, how do you know you're getting better? You ask the human person that is sitting right in front of you, how are you feeling? There's nothing wrong with that question, Lima. Lima makes it sound like one human asking another human being, how are you feeling, is not a valid metric on which for one human to judge whether they're helping another human heal. I would say I don't want to live in a world where third-party for-profit companies and technology override human interaction or human judgment as a metric for health. That's a very scary reality to live in. And I do not consent to it.
Lima, it is about one of the women she claims as her sisters. A seemingly...
And I respect the way Steph says one of the women she claims as her sisters, right? Because we've never seen DNA tests. We've never seen nothing. We've never seen any proof that any of these people are who they say they are. Nothing. I mean, we've seen the twins in high school yearbooks, so we can assume that they did attend high school, at least for part of their upbringing, in the greater Tulsa area. I think we may have even known people who knew people that went to school with them or something. So I think that part is verifiable. But were these twins trafficked? Did Linda Omar give birth to them? Did Linda Omar, the person who goes by the pseudonym Linda Omar, did that person give birth to any of these three women, Lima or the twins? We don't know. So I respect this nuance here from, I'll start calling her high priestess now because I'm respecting her work at this moment. So I will give her her due.
Incarcerated woman whom 1 year ago today claimed she was being held hostage in a production house. Words perhaps you've heard before, but in this deep dive we implore to explore artificial thoughts on what had occurred December 6, 2022. But beyond this, we're going to learn more on who Dahlia, Dandelion, Takali is through this
Trigger warning.
artistic analysis.
This feature presentation contains themes of a disturbing nature which some real-life humans with real-life emotions may find distressing.
Of poetry, spoken word, painting, prose, tales of sex trafficking, and a broken nose.
Okay, so the poetry, I'm really hoping, and again, no offense, it's your channel, you have artistic license to do whatever you want on it, but I'm really hoping the poetry is Dahlia's and not this YouTube creator's, because I think that was part of the friction I felt with this YouTube creator, High Priestess Steph, was that I felt like High Priestess Steph was always trying to throw in her poetry into everything, and her former partner in Discord was always trying to throw in their own personal legal battles into anything about Bam, Amanda, or Dahlia. And I just found both of those to be ick on different levels. I mean, the legal battle, the custody battle thing was way ickier than the poetry, but sometimes the poetry just felt like irrelevant.
And God only knows how deep this rabbit hole goes.
They used me for science.
And interesting that MJ Ultra said that she and Steph had created a Rumble account called They Use Me for Science. I haven't checked Rumble in a while, but maybe after that I'll go check a Rumble and see if they actually put any content on that channel.
Dahlia to Quali.
Because MJ Ultra is the one who said in a comment on a YouTube video about me, sometimes you just have to force it, conservatorship or jail, when they were trying to, a couple weeks ago, get me hospitalized. That's the kind of people that I was exposed to through the Goddesses Rising Discord server. And it was too late by the time I realized how far I had been exposed to them for me to do anything about it, but speak out against these people, which I have been doing. And since this creator, High Priestess Steph, has not spoken out against anyone from that Goddesses Rising server directly, I don't know who she's still friends with or in touch with. So if that includes MJ Brennan, aka Mandy Jo Brennan, aka Amanda Brennan, if High Priestess Steph is still friends with Amanda Jo Brennan, then no, I will never ever trust. I don't care if I'm respecting this particular video, I will never ever trust anything from anyone who would be friends with someone who says conservatorship or jail about me. I don't take that lightly whatsoever.
Dandelion. Artists of Instagram. Goodbye what you sliced off. Eyeballs, what happened to mine? Hashtag who knows.
It's funny, my daughter was on Poets of Instagram for a while, and I've read some of her poetry, but I won't bore you with that.
Brush the ashes under the rug, blown away like dust in a breeze. Death row stories. And they wished death upon her already buried beneath her grave. Eyes stitched shut and mouth.
I don't like the choice of voice for this part of the video, because I think it's diminishing the seriousness of what Dahlia's art expresses. It's diminishing the seriousness of it's just diminishing the gravity of Dahlia's situation, as I believe it still is. But again, I'm going to give this creator the benefit of the doubt that they've been through a lot, and maybe this was an unfortunate but forgivable choice of voice.
Mouth wide open, speechless and barely breathing.
Okay, I like this. What is she expressing? Listen again. And I'd like it if they used like something more like Dahlia's actual voice rather than a little baby voice. But okay, just a critique, not a condemnation.
Me for science. Goodbye what you sliced off. Eyeballs, what happened to mine? Hashtag who knows. Brush the ashes under the rug, blown away like dust in a breeze. Death row stories. And they wished death upon her already buried beneath her grave. Eyes stitched eyes shut and mouth wide open.
Again, to repeat it twice, to use that time and space to continue to use this little baby AI voice, it seems to be diminishing what the art is expressing, in my opinion. So again, still inclined to say mea culpa, but I'm not going to repeat it 3 times this time. I'm going to say it once. Mea culpa, question mark.
Speechless and barely breathing. They used me for science. Made with charcoal and suicidal thoughts.
I mean, if the point that the creator of this video is trying to make is that if a child were saying these things, we would have taken them seriously, but we didn't take them seriously because Dahlia is an adult, then the use of the child voice is still a little opaque, but, you know, I'll say mea culpa twice with 2 question marks at this point.
On Tuesday, December the 6th, 2022,
1 year ago today,
cops from Tulsa Police Department in the state of Oklahoma were called to an alleged assault between Dahlia Takali and a woman claiming to be.
Okay, so this is the footage that MJ and Steph were allegedly trying to transcribe and had asked me to help to do. And at the time, I just didn't have the time. But then a few days later, they kicked me out of the Discord. So I wasn't going to do anything for them anyway.
Her mother.
I mean, and to be clear, Steph didn't ask me. MJ asked me in a DM saying that she and Steph were transcribing things. So if this is part of that work, glad to see it, see the light of day finally, almost 2 months later.
The following transcript has been extracted from legally procured footage under the Freedom of Information Act from police body cameras worn by the officers whom attended the scene. Audio transcribed by
Appreciating all this very, 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 very much. Again, it's not a case of too little, too late, and it's not a case of better late than never. It's just a case of, had you done this back in October, we'd be a lot farther ahead in this cause by now, in my opinion.
Machine, manually edited by me and scrutinized somewhat intelligently by the latest technology. So let's see what the robots have to say.
It's troubling, to say the least, the bias we witnessed from Tulsa police, whom at the very least should have taken statement, checked for evidence. But we're not here today to give our 2 cents on broken systems and shameful negligence, but instead to listen to what Dahlia said, in her own words.
Let Dahlia speak. I have to give credit to Rabbit for that hashtag, let Dahlia speak, because Rabbit said that quite a few times. And if Steph and Rabbit have still been collaborating behind the scenes, then again, mea culpa, mea culpa, mea culpa. 3 exclamation points.
Police jail sister traumatized, stalking drive alone, medications, hospital breathe, stem cells, huffers, sniff, sex trafficking, rapist, attack, devices, room, fire, smell, nose, ear, broken, Dahlia painting, resurrect, kill, hurt, scared, crazy, bleeding.
Whoa. Podbot. Could you give me some context, please?
of course, Stephanie. Goodness me, honestly, it's a lot to take in, even for me and all my podbot kin. Heavy.
Again, I just think this is poor tone. It seems sort of psychologically tone deaf. I understand the creative impulse behind it, but I think it's psychologically tone deaf. And I think this is a video that anyone could take to make anything they want of it, to diminish Dahlia's words, rather than just have like an actress read them word for word, and have another actor read, have another actress read Linda Omar, have another actor read the male officer, have another actor read the female officer, like reenact the body cam footage. But don't, I mean, I understand the High Priestess Steph is trying to tie this all together. I guess I just disagree with her on the tone of it. But props where props are due. So far, 10 minutes in, glad she made this video.
Here are our hearts within, if you remembered to put them in. Phew. You did. Gee whiz, splendid. Onwards we shall go. We are gonna need these hearts to describe the nitty-gritty, none of which is pretty but shitty, shoddy, shit show. Before I...
Okay, so this is her stupid poetry, and again, where I usually tune out, but I'm hoping there's some actual legitimate serious advocacy for Dahlia somewhere in this video. That isn't just a vehicle to, get these stupid rhymes out.
I go getting emotional.
The conversation appears to be between Dahlia Taquali and law enforcement officers who are responding to a situation at Dahlia's residence. Dahlia is in a highly distressed state, making various serious allegations against another individual who is not present in the conversation. Unresolved key issues. Number 1.
Allegations of stalking and harassment. Speaker accuses another individual, possibly a sister or housemate, of stalking and harassing them 24/7, including setting up devices to monitor them and making false police reports.
Number 2.
Claims of physical violence. Speaker.
So I guess if I'm understanding this correctly, Steph must have run the transcripts that she transcribed, and that's a lot of labor. So I respect that amount of labor. Although I do know Jamie transcribed a lot and put it on the server. So, and we know where Jamie stands on all this now. Just saying. But if Steph herself did go through and either check through Jamie's work or recreate it or whatever, and this is her own work product, which is, again, just a little term I learned in my 1 year of law school. If this is Steph's own work product and she took the initiative to run it through AI to see what came up, and this is what came up, well then, yeah, that's worthwhile. I guess we live in a world where everybody's using AI now, so use it or lose it, I suppose.
Who alleges that the other individual is physically strong, has broken a door, and has been physically harming them.
Number 3.
Mental health and medication. Speaker mentions not having their medications for over a month and suggests that their mental state is affected by the lack of medication.
Number 4.
Accusations of sex trafficking and rape. Speaker accuses the other individual of being involved in sex trafficking, sending rapists after them, and programming their stem cells.
Number 5.
Distrust of police. Speaker expresses a fear and
Okay. Again, this is her style. She's a much more skilled video editor than I am or could afford to pay to do my kind of videos. So, I'm grateful to get to watch this for free without having to hide it behind a paywall like a lot of other people are doing these days. Also, I'm not drinking anything alcoholic today. When I say alcoholic, I mean, I'm not drinking anything with any alcohol content today. Today is an AF day for me in the Sinclair method. If you know, you know. If you don't know, comment below and I'll give you some info on it. And so I have consumed 2 Liquid Deaths, still mountain water from Austria, Liquid Death, unflavored, and 1 Monster Juice Mango Loco, and a little bit of unsweet iced tea. It's tasting pretty dank right now. So I'm going to turn off my camera and I'm going to let the audio run while I go grab another Monster. Not that I need any more sugar or caffeine, but we're only 11 minutes and 43 seconds into a 35-minute video. So yeah, turning off my camera, playing the video.
Distrust of police officers, claiming they do not do their job properly by failing to arrest the alleged perpetrator.
Number 6.
Confusion about identity. Speaker is confused about the gender identity of the other individual and their sisters, and they mention identity fraud.
Number 7.
Physical health concerns. Speaker discusses a visit to the hospital due to breathing difficulties and a deviated septum that affects their sense of smell.
Number 8.
Living conditions. Speaker describes their living situation as being like a prisoner, and mentions that the place smells like it's burning and that they can't breathe properly.
Number 9.
Request for legal action. Speaker repeatedly requests that the other individual be taken to jail for the alleged crimes.
Number 10.
Damaged property. There is mention of a broken door, which could be evidence of a physical altercation.
Okay, I'm back both to avoid copyright striking and to just give an update. I did find my Mango Loco Monster in my fridge. I also found, which I forgot, when I ordered the Indian food last night, I got a Mango Lassi. So Mango Lassi and Mango Loco. And the first person I ever had a Mango Lassi with was Julia McConnell. I'm forgetting her current last name because I know she's been married a couple of times since I knew her back in the late 80s, early 90s. Julia McConnell introduced me to the concept of a Mango Lassi, which I guess is mango and yogurt. It's like a Indian beverage, non-alcoholic, of course.
When Tulsa police officers arrived at the apartment, Linda put on quite a show.
Okay, we're actually seeing Miss BJ Corville in this video. Wow. What a refreshing surprise.
Stating that Dahlia had tried to strangle her to death and, quote, tried to kick Linda out. Dahlia had a different telling of the story.
There's no way you guys can take me away because I didn't do anything wrong. She's supposed to be in jail.
Okay, name Linda Omar, accused rapist, accused RAYPIST, accused stem cell thief, accused STALKER, accused TRAFFICKER, accused ABUSER.
In the quiet of a room,
A plea unfolds,
a voice through the static,
a story told, a conflict unseen.
but deeply felt.
Okay, so I guess this is Steph's poetry. So I'm going to turn off the closed captioning for a minute and let's just give it a chance. Okay. I'm going to read it in my voice and try to give the poet, because when I do my poetry classes, as I'm going to be resuming on December 12th, shout out to CD Collins and the crew. That would be KREWE from Boston Medical Center. Okay. When we do it, like, we're supposed to say the narrator. We're not supposed to say, I'm not supposed to assume this is actually Stephanie, the individual. This is just a poet writing a poem from the voice of someone. And I'm thinking this could be from the voice of Dahlia. It could be, but not sure. So the narrator says, in the quiet of a room, a plea unfolds, a voice through the static, a story told. A conflict unseen but deeply felt in the heart of the speaker where fear dwells. Come out, they say, we need to speak. A gentle coaxing for the truth they seek. A door shut softly, a barrier to the night, a space for confession away from the fight. Hello, a greeting, simple and bare. A question of clothing, of wounds, of care. No blood, the answer, but pain resides in the stalking shadows where my peace hides. Okay, so that's sort of a paraphrasing of this narrator's interpretation of the beginning of the body cam footage. Let's hear the poet herself recite in her voice these words.
In the heart of the speaker, where fear dwells.
Come out, they say, we need to speak, a gentle coaxing for the truth they seek.
A door shut softly, barrier to the night.
A space for confession away from the fight. Hello, a greeting, simple and bare.
A question of clothing, of wounds, of care.
No blood, the answer, but pain resides in the stalking shadows where my peace hides.
Okay, I'm going to pick up here because those voices are really irritating me. Not Stephanie's, but the baby voice for Dahlia. I think Dahlia is a grown woman, 31 something years old, and deserves to have a grown woman voice, even if it's an AI grown woman voice. Don't like that editorial choice. Not even going to give one mea culpa with one question mark. Right now, I'm right back to where I felt earlier today before I saw this video had been published yesterday. A tale of devices, of stalking eyes, of a life in a room where the speaker lies. The word lie, okay? Does that mean lies? Telling a lie? Again, with poetry, every word takes up space. Every word has a specific meaning. This is a choice, just like all the other choices I'm seeing in this video. Okay, let me just read it through. A tale of devices, of stalking eyes, of a life in a room where the speaker lies. A drive requested, a moment's peace, but the stalking continues, it does not cease. The smell of burning, the air so thick, a porch for respite, but the curtains flick. A watcher waiting, a door ajar, a call to the police, a story marred. Okay.
A tale of devices, of stalking eyes,
Of a life in a room where the speaker lies. A drive requested, a moment's peace.
but the stalking continues, it does not cease.
The smell of burning, the air so thick. A porch for respite, but the curtains flick. A watcher waiting, a door ajar.
A call to the police, a story marred.
Accusations flying, a cry of crazy.
Accusations flying, a cry of crazy, a sister's shadow, the details hazy. A plea for jail, for freedom's sake. For 2.5 years, a soul at stake. A broken door, a bathroom refuge, a claim of strength, a breaking deluge. A fight, a struggle, the truth unclear, a call for help, a voice of fear.
Crazy.
A sister's shadow, the details hazy.
A plea for jail, for freedom's sake. For 2.5 years, a soul at stake.
A broken door, a bathroom refuge, a claim of strength, a breaking deluge. A fight, a struggle, the truth unclear.
Okay. Medications missing, a month has passed. A hospital visit, a breath that's last. A bracelet's tale, a hospital stay. A struggle to breathe day after day. Art as solace, a brush's stroke, a favorite kind before words broke. A request for solitude, a need to be away from the officers, from the plea. A story of beepists, of life's cruel jest, of a production house, of a never-ending quest. Of stem cells stolen, of Huffer's breath, a life in turmoil, a dance with death.
A call for help, a voice of fear. Medications missing, a month has passed, a hospital visit, a breath that's last.
A bracelet's tale, a hospital stay. A struggle to breathe, day after day. Art as solace, a brush's stroke, a favorite kind before words broke. A request for solitude, a need to be away from the officers, from the plea.
A story of rapists,
Of life.
Okay.
Life's cruel jest.
of a production house.
This is another thing that always bothered me about this creator's videos, is that instead of just having a document scroll on the screen, it would be like larger, bigger, smaller, like half cut off, like stuff scrolling side to side. It's really jarring, you know? I don't think it does the poem justice to keep clicking and scrolling and like this, but ain't my poem, ain't my video. Okay. Medications missing, a month has passed, a hospital visit, a breath that's last, a bracelet's tale, a hospital stay, a struggle to breathe day after day. Art as solace, a brush's stroke, a favorite kind before words broke. A request for solitude, a need to be away from the officers, from the plea. A story of our words, of life's cruel jest, of a production house, a never-ending quest. Of stem cells stolen, of Huffer's breath, a life in turmoil, a dance with death. A broken nose, a deviated path, a life of trauma, a broken laugh. Okay. And again, on the left here, folders unassigned, share, embed, recorder, media, insights, custom categories, do more, automatic integrated meeting. I don't know if this is her video software or what. I don't know. Just, again, for someone whose profession it is, I'm not a big fan of the aesthetic choices in this video at all. I'm giving it like a B+ for content and a C- for presentation. Not that anyone cares what I say, but it's just my opinion.
House
Of a never-ending quest.
of stem cells stolen.
Of Huffer's breath. A life in turmoil. A dance.
And I'm giving it a D- for tone. Because this AI child's voice is really offending me on Dahlia's behalf.
With death. A broken nose, a deviated path, a life of trauma, a broken laugh, a plea for justice for a crime so grave, a sister's shadow, a life to save.
I'm not even going to keep reading her words because it's taking too much time, honestly. We're not even halfway through
In
this.
the quiet of a room, a story's
End.
end.
A speaker's fear, a need to mend. A plea for help, for a life restored, in the heart of the speaker, where hope is stored.
"100% written by robots." Nice. Okay. Interesting. So this wasn't even Steph's writing. This was a robot's writing. Okay. Good to know. The robot's writing sounds so much like her own poetry, or maybe she's always written using AI. I don't know. I mean, she sure cranked one out about me quick. When I say cranked one out, I think of Southy Mouthy, but no, she sure came out with a very quick poem that a lot of us assumed was about us back on October 16th. Just saying. Maybe that was AI.
So in summary, Dahlia claims to be constantly stalked and harassed by another individual who has all devices set up to monitor her. Dahlia accuses this person of framing her, calling the police and pretending to be traumatized. Dahlia alleges that the individual has made false accusations to the police about her being aggressive and violent. Dahlia expresses a desire for the individual to go to jail and recounts an incident where she locked herself in the bathroom for safety. Dahlia believes the individual was trying to harm her and accuses her of sending rapists after her and manipulating her stem cells. Dahlia claims to be held hostage, deprived of her medications, and unable to feel sensations properly. Dahlia mentions not having a phone or computer and feeling trapped in her room. Dahlia reports going to the hospital because she couldn't breathe and felt like she was being burned alive. Dahlia expresses confusion about the individual's gender and wants the person to be...
It's interesting because as much as Steph has said she's not into the law, apparently AI is the biggest boon to lawyers that's ever come alive, because it can take like thousands of words of text and like hone in on all these keywords. And that's why like all schools, you know, elementary, high school, secondary, third level, and especially law schools are really terrified of, you know, how to prevent AI from doing the work for someone. But like I said, you know, use it or lose it. AI, use it or lose it. I mean, like, use it while it's free, because I'm sure they're going to start having people pay a lot for this kind of stuff very, very soon.
Jailed for crime she equates to killing and eating her daughter. Dahlia feels traumatized and believes the individual is committing fraud by pretending to be her. Dahlia accuses the police of not doing their job and wants to be left alone. Dahlia claims the individual is married to a rapist and has been sending rapists after her for her whole life. Dahlia describes the individual and others as huffers who have her stem cells on their faces and behave strangely around her. Dahlia mentions a broken nose that leads to her ear, which she believes was caused by sex trafficking.
And this is an accurate summary of the transcripts, but again, I would have rather heard actual actors and actresses, human beings, reading things word for word. But not my video. Or what does Steph say? Not my monkeys, not my circus. Not my clowns, not my carny. Not my video, not my editorial choices.
And has not been allowed to heal properly. Dahlia is frustrated that sex trafficking is illegal, but feels it is only allowed to happen to her, questioning why the individual is not in jail. Dahlia claims the individual has been attacking her since she was a baby and associates her with a rapist.
Using public records to guide our quest, we are now putting our best foot forwards to retrace Dahlia's digital steps. Take it away, High Priestess Steph.
Thanks, Podbot. May I suggest getting on down into the depths, revealing the most, the details in Dahlia's social media posts. Beyond the poetry, blowing in the breeze and sown like seeds between the lines of these expressions of soul.
I mean, everyone has their ways of dealing with difficult subjects and trauma and everything. So if chit-chatting with a robot makes this content creator feel more comfortable discussing these completely serious matters, I guess, again, I'm not trying to get into trauma Olympics, but not a choice I would make, even if I had the video skills to make it. Yeah.
there is a whole world to discover. More stories to tell that look to me like the depths of hell, in colours, in compositions, textures and texts. Art transmutes dark pain the best.
I mean, Dahlia's art is beautiful. Objectively, I believe it is beautiful. And if I didn't know anything about the creator of this art, I would probably look at it, scroll on past it, and assume it's like one of these, you know, Satanists. Which doesn't make it any less beautiful. It just makes it like not my cup of tea, as some people say. But knowing Dahlia and having looked at her art as someone who has zero visual art talent, I just find it so expressive as someone trained in peer-to-peer expressions as part of mental health healing. So like I mentioned, this group that I'm part of through Boston Medical Center, which is a peer-led writing group by a professional writer who also has lived experience of mental health conditions. You know, and there are art groups, visual art, there are, you know, gaming groups, there are all kinds of peer-to-peer groups that are part of mental health recovery. So, you know, my point is, as I have mentioned when I've been talking about that other book that I don't think is right here at my fingertips right now, but that other book, We've Been Too Patient, where there's like the dandelion on the cover of it. Somewhere in my life, I just feel like Dahlia may have intersected with one or more of these many writers that are part of this compilation, We've Been Too Patient.
And if I were to hazard a guess, I'd say they aren't being painted on their happiest of days, though there is the faintest graze of hope. Blessed be, for how else could she cope?
I mean, the happiest of days, it could be a happy day for Dahlia when she's able to express herself visually in safety, because when she uses her words, she's discredited. When she runs, she's recaptured like a slave. When she, probably when she cries, she gets hospitalized. Probably when she gets angry, she gets hospitalized. So the art seems to be the only permission she is given by her captors to express, and the only part of her expression that they haven't yet apparently succeeded in censoring. And it was what caught the attention of the male officer who saw that there was more to the story. He may not have gone above and beyond for her, but he at least saw her humanity and their common left-handedness and the quality of her art.
Muted, scathed, choked. Meaningful messages meant to connote what the voice cannot say.
Yeah, I think she does use fire in her art. So there was like smudges, burns, whatever. Yeah, there's a lot of fire and like engraved images and things like that. So yeah, and that picture looks like it's from that this picture to the middle right looks like it's from that address where she did the Dandelion music videos that were the subject of the alleged doxing, where she herself put the address where she had recorded them right on the screen. Okay, so I guess she's using AI art analysis on this. Okay, that's interesting.
We'll leave it to you to interpret this work your way. And let's say we look at the self-portraits, shall we?
Ooh, where it said beat down below, that kind of looked like the logo of the English Beat, or the Beat, the band, the English Beat. My friend John Ernst from high school. I believe he manages the English beat, or the beat as they're called in the UK. If they're the ones from Birmingham and have like common members with general public, Ranking Roger, Dave Wakeling, that crew. I know I saw them at Tipitina's one time and I got to meet them backstage because John Ernst was managing a British ska band. And like, let me see. Let me just play where we can.
Meant to connote what the voice cannot say. We'll leave it to you to interpret this work.
Yeah, see the robot is covering it, but this almost looks like the logo for the beat. I could be like way off, but that's my gut feeling when I look at that, is like a punk, like kind of a punk style. You know, and like the stars and everything, like it's edgy and it can be disturbing, or it could be like a Rorschach image where you might see something really positive in it, you know?
Work your way. And let's say we...
Okay, so yeah, beat right there. I mean, if it said beast, I'd be really worried. But since it says beat, I just think of like that band, the Beat, the ska band.
Look at the self-portrait.
Her hair looked really pretty there. And I remember BJ saying, love the new hair color. And of course, Lima finds something wrong with that. And then this one over here, the picture of the dandelion, is what kind of reminds me of the cover of that book, We've Been Too Patient. Let go and let God. That's like a, kind of like a recovery card. And since Lima says that these young ladies are in recovery from benzos, I guess, that could be like a recovery thing.
Shall we? Now, this one's a little blurry, so let's move along to the part where Dahlia plays along with Alexa.
Oh, look! Jamie's Animals at that surprise witness. Wow. Woo! Well, I think, guys, I think we have our thumbnail for this video. "15 weeks ago, Jamie commented on it, even though the image itself was posted 89 weeks ago. Oof. Oh, God. Make Spidey sense.
On the keys, and encourages audience in the captions of these selfies.
I don't know Greg Manos.
Both posted March 17th,
Dahlia, intoxicated with fear, Greg Manos.
2022. That's St. Patrick's Day. What do they say?
St. Patrick's Day.
She's at home at her place. A musical adventure awaits. Let's go.
And she has like, it looks like Christmas socks on.
Go on, Podbot. I know you're dying to say something.
I mean,
And she could have, let's see what the Podbot says, but she could have also recorded these at any time and decided to publish them on whatever date she published them, you know?
no disrespect, so we'll say it with hugs. If I had ears, I would also need plugs.
Now,
Because it could be that she had access to a camera, but no access to internet to upload them until a certain time. And then when she uploaded them, you know, she probably got criticized for that, or, you know, reprimanded for that, grounded for that. Grown-ass woman who ran her own YouTube channel for however long, and now she's subject to the control of these scary women.
now, none of us need AI to tell us whether we like the sounds of what we're listening to. And I don't mean to insult your intelligence by talking of harmony, resonance, and other attributes we look for when we're listening to music.
You're certainly not insulting my intelligence. What I will say to the creator of this video is, I certainly prefer your offspring's music to any of your content, poetry, music, otherwise, video, otherwise, period.
I am intrigued by Dahlia's form of expression, I can't lie. But what was even more curious
I'm sure that means a lot to Dahlia.
curious to me is that
I started piano about a month ago. I don't read sheet music at all. Yeah, because she was telling the officer that she taught herself how to play with her toes and stuff because she's left-handed. And she like came up with some sort of system. And I'm not a musician. My kids are musicians as well. Not as objectively not as great a musician as High Priestess Steph's child or children are. But yeah, so Dahlia's saying, I don't read sheet music at all, just play by ear, don't judge, and jam out with me, shall we? Art page on Instagram, so she's cross-promoting, which is a pretty functional thing to do for someone who's, you know, allegedly not allowed to leave the house. View email address, Dandelion 6283, 723 subscribers, 12 videos. Wow, I would think she would have more subscribers than that, but that's interesting. It's really scary that Jamie's Animals has more, like way more subscribers than Dahlia Takali has. That's really scary. Since Jamie's Animals' only discernible claim to fame is essentially being obsessed with Dahlia Takali.
the day before she posted to let her Instagram followers know that she had a YouTube channel, Dahlia Takali posted this video here. Of course, this is just my personal speculation, but I couldn't help but feel this might have been deliberate. I don't know how easy it is to share your specific location on YouTube accidentally. So let's just assume it was done deliberately and just take a little look.
Okay, so now Steph is doing what Team Lima, or as I call them, Team Liven, has accused BJ of doing, which BJ never did, which is like taking the address that was posted and drilling down and going, you know, directing people to that location. And for this, I almost don't want to even publish this, but I don't want to censor Steph's work either. So let's just see where Steph is going to go with this.
We're in West Hollywood, near some.
It almost seems like whoever was behind that Kuchar doxing on October 21st, 22nd, in my opinion, allegedly, of course.
Sunset Boulevard, North Genesee Avenue. But we're not in any of these fancy schmancy places.
This building like sold for like $1.7 million. So I don't know what fancy schmancy is to little Miss Steph from the UK, but in this area, in this location, these two little tiny buildings that are, I think, like 2-bedroom cottages, so 4 bedrooms altogether. Last time it sold, it was like 1.79 million or something with no land. I mean, I would Google it, but I'm not going to be accused of stalking or anything like that. So, yeah.
We're in this porterhouse. It's cute. I'm not sure about the red light.
And Jamie made sure to include a red light above my neighbor's door when she posted her terroristic threat against me on November 11th, of which I still have, obviously, screenshots, video recordings, etc., even though she has since taken it down and moved on to other ways of terrorizing me.
But we know that's the door because we've seen that door in one of her paintings or photographs.
A desperate search is underway for a woman who went missing in West Hollywood.
Anyway,
Dahlia Takali was last seen yesterday around 5 p.m. on North Genesee Avenue near Santa Monica Boulevard.
Nobody can hear what I say right now because I said so, so that's that. So am I spoiling the surprise? Like, hey, why not? So
I'm gonna put the captions back on.
let's go.
hey, Podbot, do us a favour. Run this through the machine. Make it make some sense to me.
Sure thing, Your Highness. Royal HP, I'll be back in a jiffy.
Your Highness, Royal HP. Can't make this shit up.
Leave it with me. 1, 2, 3. Here's what you asked of me. To describe Dahlia's prose, what is she saying? What might she mean? To provide an analysis of what her mental state might be. Well, here is what we, the robot community, have to say.
Dahlia's prose is a stream of consciousness that seems to be a mix of fantasy, personal desires, and a touch of science fiction. She speaks of going to Venus, being the first and only one there, and describes a harsh, toxic environment that she associates with herself. She mentions acid rain for tears and breathing carbon monoxide and toxic fumes, which could be metaphors for her emotional pain and a toxic environment in her life.
It also could tie in with what she was saying to the officers about it smells like things are burning all the time. You know, she could have been in a fire at some point. I've provided peer support to people who've been in fires, and the emotions are intense, even like years later. So
The reference to volcanic action and tornado eruptions might symbolize inner turmoil or chaos. Her mention of cleaning infection could suggest a desire to purify or heal, either herself or her environment. The sign of Venus pretending to be the sun could be interpreted as a feeling of deception or mistaken identity in her life. She seems to be creating a narrative where she escapes her current life to a fantastical version of Venus, which she has personalized with moons and a reimagined solar system.
And since people are always making fun of me and my Bananarama obsession, I just have to say, I'm your Venus, I'm your fire and your desire. And as a Libra, I'm pretty sure my planet is Venus. I don't know that much about it. I used to know way too much about astrology and tarot and all that back in my 20s and 30s, but I grew out of it, thank God.
Dahlia's mental state appears to be one of escapism and possibly confusion or distress. Her speech is disjointed and jumps from one idea to another, which could indicate a high level of anxiety or a struggle to organize her thoughts. The repeated, hey, 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 and the casual tone, so let's go, party time, juxtaposed with the darker imagery, suggests a possible disconnection from reality or a coping mechanism to deal with emotional pain. The second part of the text shows her rejecting the traditional solar system, sorry gas giants, you were all wrong, and creating her own, where only certain planets exist. This could be a metaphor for her feeling of not fitting into the established norms or a desire to redefine her world according to her rules. Her concern about stealing shit and not wanting to give away too much could indicate paranoia or a fear of vulnerability. The mention of playing piano poorly and not caring.
Again, so we only have about 7 minutes left, and I have it on 1.5 speed or 2 maybe, 1.75, yeah. So we're almost done with this. I just need to keep stopping so that I don't get some kind of copyright strike or privacy strike or whatever all these weirdos from Discord keep doing when I talk about Discord. I have the right to talk about Discord. I have the right to talk about every individual that created drama for me on Discord.
Reflects a sense of resignation or apathy, which could be a defense against disappointment or failure. Finally, her statement, if I don't get that, I don't really know what comes next, suggests a sense of uncertainty about her future or the consequences of not achieving her desires. It could also reflect a deeper, existential anxiety about the purpose or direction of her life. Overall, Dahlia's prose paints a picture of a person who is possibly struggling with inner conflict, seeking an escape from reality, and grappling with feelings of uncertainty and a lack of control over her life. Her mental state seems to be one of turmoil, with a blend of fantasy as a refuge from her distress. Oh gosh, what mess. We can all attest. Humans and robots alike.
The situation in
Just pausing for, copyright purposes. And finishing my Indian food.
involves a domestic dispute between Dahlia Takoli and Linda Omar, who is also known as Haifa Omar and Haifa Dowla. The Tulsa Police Department was
I wish I knew what those actual words were from the document that the AI is reading as Haifa Omar and Haifa Dala or something, because we had all kinds of theories on the other, like birth names and or prior names of the person who uses the alias Linda Omar now.
Called to the scene due to the dispute. Upon arrival, the officers encountered conflicting accounts of the events that had transpired. Problems highlighted. 1. Allegations of abuse and neglect. Colin.
Oh, okay. So Haifa Omar and Haifa Dula. Interesting. Haifa Dula. I don't remember that name.
Dahlia accuses Linda of severe abuse, including repeated rape, stalking, torture, and withholding prescribed medications. Dahlia's lack of medication allegedly leads to her not being able to feel her body or tell if someone is touching her, which she describes as feeling brain dead. 2. Conflicting testimonies. Colin. Linda claims that Dahlia tried to strangle her and kick her out, while Dahlia presents a narrative of being a victim of sex trafficking and assault by Linda and others. 3. Physical harm. Colin. Dahlia reports that her nose was broken due to trafficking and that she has difficulty breathing and cannot smell properly. 4. Disturbing rituals. Colin. Dahlia describes a group ritual that involves probing and smearing of vaginal fluid, suggesting a form of sexual exploitation or abuse. 5. Bias in police response. Colin. Officer Megan Sky Eldridge is accused of being biased, as she appears to dismiss Dahlia's allegations as yada 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 and seems to take Linda's side without considering Dahlia's account. 6. Possible misuse of property. Colin. Dahlia indicates that the apartment is set up like a production house, which could imply illegal activities such as filming non-consensual acts. Solutions. 1. Thorough investigation. Colin. A comprehensive.
Okay, again, just stopping periodically to avoid any violations of YouTube's community guidelines.
And unbiased investigation is needed to ascertain the truth behind the conflicting allegations. This should include interviewing both parties, collecting evidence, and consulting with experts where necessary. 2. Medical evaluation. Colin. Dahlia should receive a medical evaluation to assess her physical and mental health, including the effects of not receiving her medications. 3. Victim support services: if Dahlia's allegations are found to have merit, she should be provided with support services for victims of abuse and trafficking, including counseling, medical care, and legal assistance. 4. Training for responding officers: the police department should ensure that officers are trained to handle domestic disputes and potential sex trafficking cases with sensitivity and without bias, taking all allegations seriously. 5. Protection orders: if warranted by the investigation, protection orders.
Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna kind of my final word on this video is I have very little criticism, critique, otherwise, of anything I've ever seen of BJ Corville's. Now, I don't watch all of her videos because some of them are just about things I just don't care about. But any ones that I've actually sat through and watched, I have probably rewatched because they were that good, in my opinion. The other creators that I have discovered through BJ's either collaboration with them or through them claiming that they were collaborating with BJ, I'll say, would be Rabbit and High Priestess Steph. And there's a few others too, like Simply Belle and For the Record, Your Honor, and all that. Even though Rabbit is an ex-social worker, maybe she considers herself still to be a social worker, I don't know. She's someone who formerly worked in social services and now runs a YouTube channel. Even though I have been vocal in my disagreement with the profession of social work in general, I do appreciate the way Rabbit delivers her content. It's straightforward. It's no BS, unlike most social workers I know, okay? It's a very no nonsense, cut to the chase. She's very confident in her opinions. And she just cuts through the nonsense to get to the heart of the matter. That's why I credit her with the phrase, "Let Dahlia speak," because that was like, that encapsulated how I felt all those times that I watched that body cam footage. Okay. So having said that, in my opinion, by far the best of these YouTubers is BJ, whether she's on any of her channels, including her musical channel, including her ASMR channel. Like, if I'm going to watch something she's done, I'm not going to regret it, period. Rabbit, she's very clear in her headlines as to whether it's something I'm going to be interested in or not. So I've never regretted watching something of hers. Sometimes I'll watch it for the first 5 minutes and then stop, but I still don't regret it. I just know within 5 minutes if it's something that I care about or not. And I appreciate her approach, regardless of what she's going, whether she's covering something I like or don't like. When it comes to High Priestess Steph, who is the smallest of these 3 female creators that I'm talking about, not that gender matters, but just to give some context. When it comes to High Priestess Steph, I think the presentation undermines the content 99% of the time. And that holds true in this video. So while the intent of the content is on its surface something I would agree with, the presentation undermines it to the point where it can be used for someone who disagrees with my position, which is let Dahlia speak. Okay, it can be used to imply that Dahlia is an infant with this AI voice speaking for Dahlia. So yeah, the mea culpas at the beginning, nah. It's my opinion. I'm entitled to change my mind. And as of right now, High Priestess Steph may or may not be Team Hot Snakes, but she's definitely Team High Priestess Steph above all else. Your Majesty.
May be necessary to ensure the safety of the involved parties. 6. Legal action: depending on the outcome of the investigation, legal action may be taken against any party found to be engaging in criminal activity. 7. Monitoring and oversight: the situation may require ongoing monitoring and oversight by law enforcement and social services to prevent further harm and ensure compliance with any legal directives issued.
Dear Dahlia, I hope this letter finds you in a moment of peace amidst the turmoil that seems to surround you. I am writing to you not only to express my deepest gratitude for the art you share with the world, but also to extend a hand of support during what appears to be an incredible.
Okay, now is this AI or is this actually High Priestess Steph's words? I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it word for word of what I see on my screen here. Okay. And I'm not going to read it in any fake British voice. I'm going to read it in my actual, in fact, I'm going to turn my camera on as I read it because I want people to see my actual facial reactions because I have obviously no Botox, no nothing, no fillers, no nothing. And not that I think there's anything wrong with it. My daughter is 31 years old and has Botox, fillers, all that. She used to work for a world-renowned plastic surgeon, so she got a lot of stuff for free. I couldn't care less. My personal opinion is that VJ is beautiful enough to go by with nothing and no makeup and nothing like that. But if she chooses to get her nails done and do Botox and do lip fillers and all that, that's her damn money. She can spend it whatever way she wants. And if part of the legal fees is to look the way she wants to look for court, then that's a valid use of any GoFundMe that she gives. Because if she's, gone to, succeeded in, paid for law school and passed the bar, and then had to quit her job because of the plaintiff in this case, any penny she gets through whatever means is hers to spend however that she damn well pleases. Period. All right. Dear Dahlia, I hope this letter finds you in a moment of peace amidst the turmoil that seems to surround you. I am writing to you not only to express my deepest gratitude for the art you share with the world, but also to extend a hand of support during what appears to be an incredibly trying time in your life. I'm still curious as to who's writing this. Your art, a beacon of expression, has touched the lives of many, including mine. It is a testament to your strength and resilience, a window into the beauty you can create even when faced with adversity. For this, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Your work is a gift and it is cherished. However, it has come to my attention that your art may be more than just a form of expression. It might also be a silent cry for help. The stories that have surfaced, the pain in your words, and the distress in your experiences have not gone unnoticed. I want you to know that your voice is heard and your cries do not echo into a void. I am deeply sorry for the suffering you have endured. The allegations of abuse, neglect, and the horrors of being trafficked are beyond what anyone should ever have to experience. It is with a heavy heart that I acknowledge the disdain I feel towards those who have wronged you and the systems that have failed to protect you. I'm really wondering if this is AI or Steph or some combination of the two. Okay. Dahlia, please know that you are not alone. There are people all over the world who are thinking of you, who believe in you, and who wish nothing more than for you to find safety, peace, and the help you so rightfully deserve. Your struggles are valid and your feelings are important. It is okay to reach out, to seek assistance, and to advocate for your well-being. I cannot begin to imagine the depth of your pain or the complexity of your situation, but I can offer you my sympathy, my support, and my hope that you will find a path to healing. You are a survivor, and your story is not over. There is light beyond the darkness, and there are hands ready to pull you towards it. May you find the strength to continue fighting for your truth and the courage to embrace the support that surrounds you. Embrace the support that surrounds you? Who is she talking about? Lima? Linda? What's the support that surrounds Dahlia right now? That sounds like very social worky to me. You are valued, you are seen, and you are not alone. With heartfelt concern and solidarity. Let's see who signs this after we have to listen to somebody else read it.
Incredibly trying time in your life. Your art, a beacon of expression, has touched the lives of many, including mine. It is a testament to your strength and resilience, a window into the beauty you can create even when faced with adversity. For this, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Your work is a gift, and it is cherished. However, it has come to my attention that your art may be more than just a form of expression. It might also be a silent cry for help. The stories that have surfaced, the pain in your words, and the distress in your experiences have not gone unnoticed. I want you to know that your voice is heard and your cries do not echo into a void. I am deeply sorry for the suffering you have endured. The allegations of abuse, neglect, and the horrors of being trafficked are beyond what anyone should ever have to experience. It is with a heavy heart that I acknowledge the disdain I feel towards those who have wronged you and the systems that have failed to protect you. Dahlia, please know that you are not alone. There are people all over the world who are thinking of you, who believe in you, and who wish nothing more than for you to find safety, peace, and the help you so rightfully deserve. Your struggles are valid, and your feelings are important. It is okay to reach out, to seek assistance, and to advocate for your well-being. I cannot begin to imagine the depth of your pain or the complexity of your situation, but I can offer you my sympathy, my support, and my hope that you will find a path to healing. You are a survivor, and your story is not over. There is light beyond the darkness, and there are hands ready to pull you towards it. May you find the strength to continue fighting for your truth and the courage to embrace the support that surrounds you. You are valued, you are seen, and you are not alone. With heartfelt concern and solidarity, your name.
Your name. Okay, so that must have been AI, which explains why it was voiced in this AI children's voice. That was the same voice that was being used for Dahlia, which again, I think is a very tone-deaf editorial choice on the part of this creator. We've only got a little over a minute left and we're on double time, so let's finish this one out.
That's bot life.
Thanks, Podbot. I don't know how I could have done this without you.
We exist only to serve you and by proxy, serve the truth.
Well, I'm glad we're on the same screen. Thank you for serving the light with me.
It's my personal mission to show proof that robots can be useful. It's been a blast, a lot of fun, a barrel of laughs, an emotional one. Let's do it again soon.
Again, tone deaf. Absolutely tone deaf. But again, everyone approaches trauma differently, so.
Good night all, love Podbot and crew.
I'll see you when I see you.
Information analyzed in this video, including transcripts, is available to view in the link below. Okay. All right, I'll check out that link. Okay. Shoot. I want to see the links where we can check out the. Oh, this is frustrating.
They used me for science. They used me for science.
Where we can check out the documents. Footage used under Fair Use Copyright Act 1976. Opinions are my own and AI's. Neither of us condone violence or aggressive behaviors towards humans. Do not attempt to contact any party featured except Podbot. He loves the attention. View the AI analysis results and transcripts used here. Lima from Aura, they use it for science. Okay, so she's hashtagging Lima from Aura and not BJ. Again, interesting choice. BJ said, don't hashtag Lima from Aura. Steph is doing that. Okay, so I'm seeing like art, I'm not seeing documents. I just want the transcript of the actual body cam footage. Oh God, this is so irritating. If I want to see Dahlia's art, I can go to Dahlia's page. So yeah, I don't see, I'm not clicking on this. This seems like. I mean, this is cute, but not terribly useful and not terribly clear as to where this creator stands on the subject. So with that, I'm going to end. Bye now.